Hello everyone and welcome to Advent Broadcast Network. On one of our highlights today, we have a story from Uganda. One of the churches, Mount Olive Seventh-day Adventist Church building collapsed on the 6th of November. And we are joined at the studio today virtually by one of the elders who is going to talk to us and tell us exactly what happened and let us know what are their plans for the future. So stay tuned to the end, like the video, leave your comments, and also do not forget to share. Hello, Mr. Vincent.
My
Thank you so
name's
much for joining
Vincent.
us here.
My name's Vincent Zirimwabagabo. I've been an elder at Mount Olive Church since it was started in 2009. On the event of the 6th of November, we had a wonderful plan of worship. Bearing in mind the situation of COVID in this country, we were required to observe a certain protocol of SOPs, standard operating procedures. And so this morning, we have a church that normally sits between 500 to 600 people. That was before the onset of COVID. But because of COVID, we can only sit a maximum of 200 people. This morning was specifically set aside as a development Sabbath. And so we were celebrating certain landmarks, and we had prepared special speaker, and we had prepared a special event. And so we had our normal worship, 9 o'clock to 12:30, and the speaker was up on the pulpit at 11 and was done by 12:30. In the evening, in the afternoon, we had a special program for family life, and we had a discussant. And so we left church to go home for lunch, and all was well. Beautiful church. All was well. At about 1:30, some people who had remained at church heard a noise that had been made in the parking area. Our church was in the process of development, so we had a parking area with pillars. Then we had a worship area, which we were using now, and then we were building on top of it what would be the theater for the main church for the adult worshippers. And so when they came out to see, they found that one of the pillars had cracked. And so they called the architect, who was a church member of Mount Olive, and asked him to come and see what had happened. They sent him a picture of the crack that had developed, and he told them that while they wait for him to come with the other engineers, they should vacate the area. And so the cars that had been parked were removed, the people left, the equipment we were using was removed, and the church was left empty. Even the chairs that were being used were removed. I arrived back, I was called immediately at about 2 p.m., and I was told what had happened. So by 3, I was at the church. We had cordoned off the church area, and we were seated on the parking area far away from this building. At about 4:30 p.m., the architect arrived with the engineers, and they went down to see what had happened. Now, about 5 o'clock, as they were checking, and they were so confident that nothing would happen, but about 5 o'clock, the whole building came down. It was something that you had no time to think of what to do and what to say. The few people who were on site, about 10 of them, managed to run away. Incidentally, the building just came down on its feet. It did not fall on the side, did not fall the other way, just came down on its feet. And they just dashed away from it, and only one person was hurt, and not very seriously. He got 3 stitches. But when we think that about 200 people were in this church in the morning, and they worshiped the Lord and praised his name, and by 6 o'clock in the evening, the church was gone. It is something that we cannot explain. It is something we do not understand. But one thing we know, that God was with us, that God was there. The way he was with the children of Israel crossing the Red Sea, he was with us. He held that church up until we left worship. He held that church up until everybody was evacuated. And when it came down, there was no one, absolutely no one, and no one was hurt. So when it came down, we had visit from the regulating area people, we had the police, we had the fire brigade. But when we told them no one was hurt, no car was damaged, nothing was damaged except that we lost 8 years of hard work, of hard planning, of financial mobilization. That's what we lost. But we thank God and we praise his name that we are all well and alive.
That
Thank you
indeed
very
is
much.
true. That indeed is true. God is very faithful, and we are glad that no one was hurt and no life was lost.
Amen.
And that
No
is
life was lost.
the goodness of the Lord. And so you
Amen.
mentioned that it was 8 years of hard work, which means you began
Yeah.
building the church 8 years ago. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
And would you say that the original plan of the church is exactly what you were working towards right now, or you've had modifications along the way?
When we started the church, we were very few. And we were looking at a church of 350 maximum. By the time we were 4 years old on the site, our worship number was hitting 400, 500. And fortunately or unfortunately, 80 to 80, and you'll find that probably up to 90% are below the age of 40. And so we have a big number because our worship is predominantly English. And so we get all these people who are students who are from all over Uganda, who are from all over the world, who come to worship with us. And sometimes we have a lot of visitors. When they are transiting through the country, they stop by and worship with us. And so we changed our plans from a 350-seater to an 850-seater church. And so we were now developing an 850-seater church.
Okay.
Not a small job.
Yeah, that is indeed a big
When
church.
we started, we were looking at 40, 50 children. Now, on a normal Sabbath, we have up to 150 children below the age of 10. And so this has been rather strenuous for us, both on our resources, on our planning, getting the right approvals. It's been something that we've been working on almost on an annual basis.
Okay.
But we thought now we were almost ready. We were now closing in on the church. And then this takes us back almost to zero.
According to you, do you believe that the church had followed all the regulations required by the government? And what did they say was the root cause of the fall?
The last, you see, the fall was Saturday. We had a visit from the National Bureau of Housing something on Sunday. We had the police come in, and this morning, most of my morning today, and my other elder, the one who was hurt, were together at the police, and we went to the police surgeon to look at his injuries. The process is going on. We think that we will not get the results before Friday.
Okay.
Having said that, this has been a rather season. It's been also windy because of the height of the church. We do not have enough windbreakers, but all these are speculations. We think that we'll be able to get a professional answer to what exactly happened.
Okay. That is okay. And you've not
But
answered
you
the
see,
question about. Sorry about
Just go on.
You've not answered the question about had the church gone through all the processes needed, all the certifications required for building the church? Was it up to par according to the regulations given either by the public health
Yes,
office or the
we had
government?
all the certifications needed. Yes, we had all the certifications needed. We had all the permissions to build. In the last few months, there've been a number of buildings across the country. And I think there is a new drive to ensure that all buildings are properly certified. And our our architect is actually our church member, and he was keen to ensure that nothing goes wrong to the building because that is his day-to-day work. And so what we saw on Saturday is something that we are not sure what exactly it was.
Oh, yeah. And I'm hoping that you will get to the root cause of this and the Lord will provide enough
Absolutely.
resources for you to rebuild the church and continue to worship Him and continue to bring more souls to the Lord.
Absolutely.
And thank you so much, Mr. Vincent, for accepting to talk to us at Advent Broadcast Network. We will continue praying for you, and I am sure the viewers who will view this will also join us in prayer so that we may continue praying for Mount Olive Seventh-day Adventist Church as they go through this hard time of losing their church building and trying to rebuild it from the ground onwards. Thank you so much, Mr. Vincent.
Thank you very much. May God bless you.
May God bless you too. Thank you so much, our viewers, for joining us today. I am hoping that we will all join our hands together and pray for Mount Olive Seventh-day Adventist Church as they go through the loss of their church building, and they also try and build their church from the ground onwards so that they may continue worshiping in a place that has a good building and a place that will accommodate all of them, and will be able to continue to spread the word of God and draw many people to Christ. I'm looking forward to seeing you again in the week for so many other programs. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May He make His face to shine upon you. I have been Jane Nwena, your host for today.